Everything we do is driven by you. Now, there's a pretty bold statement if ever I heard one. But does it actually stand up here in the real world? Is everything that Ford does actually driven by the customer?
Well, if driven by you means simply doing anything the customer says he wants, then the answer has to be no. No manufacturer of any kind of product would survive very long if he simply did that. In Ford's case, for instance, we'd be talking a lead-in Fiesta as well spec'd as a 24-valve Scorpio.
Well, no. What driven by you clearly means in this sense is responding to the customer's needs, building and designing vehicles which give the very most for the customer's hard-earned money.
So does the Ford range for 1992 actually deliver that response to the needs of the customer and offer more value for money? Well, if reducing running costs is a consideration, and we know it is, then the introduction of 10,000 mile servicing on most 1992 models is sure to prove a clear winner, as is 3 years free RAC membership for fleets operating 25 vehicles or more.
And what about holding on to the car once you've got it? In other words, security. Obviously, if someone is really determined to steal a car, well, there's not a lot you can do about that. But Ford's response has been to make it as difficult as they possibly can, with free window etching backed up by a week's free car hire if the car is actually stolen, key coding on radios and radio cassettes, and on the Escort, Orion, Granada and Sierra, standard fitted alarm systems.
So, clear evidence of commitment already. But let's turn from the general to the specific. What about the products themselves? We've been taking a close look at the range to find out what's changed and why.
Driven by you.
Well, let's start with Ford's best-selling Fiesta, always a popular car, although not apparently in name. Customers have said that a car that's badged Popular or Popular Plus doesn't just sound popular, it can sound cheap. And so the lead-in Fiesta Popular is now just simply the Fiesta and has the new full wheel covers to mark the change. The old 1-litre engine has gone to be replaced by the 1.1 HCS unit, which is smoother and gives customers more performance for their money. Inside, there's more style and comfort, particularly comfort, because customers said that they wanted more comfort and support from the moulded seats. And so across the range, Ford have improved the seat profile to give just that. Fabrics are improved too. The Fiesta sports the Goodwood trim. Meet the new Fiesta L, now the name for the Popular Plus, and with the name change come the new style full wheel covers. Inside, the trim has been upgraded to luxurious spa velour. And at the business end, the Fiesta L is now available with the 1.3-litre HCS engine with CTX automatic transmission. The key Fiesta LX model carries on with the seat and trim improvements, and where fitted, another customer requirement has been met. Customers said that where power windows were fitted, they would prefer the switches to be here on the door rather than where they were previously in the console. And so on whatever model of Fiesta, if power windows are fitted, over here is where you'll find the switches. Now, another switch which was previously in the console was the tailgate release switch, where it was fitted. That's now moved down here to be nearer the gear stick, leaving some handy storage space where the console used to be. Customers also like Fiesta's sportiness, and so the Sporty SX continues into 1992, replacing Fiesta S, which disappears. While at the top end, XR2i, Gear and RS Turbo carry on unchanged. So with Fiesta's clear evidence that Ford really is responding to the needs of the customer.
Driven by you.
A number of key changes to Ford's best-selling Escorts and Orions for 1992 as well. Research proved for a start that quite a few customers were getting confused simply because there were so many models in the lineup. So Ford have taken the decision to do away with the Escort and Orion GLX and the Escort S. Now this has made Escort and Orion gears even more desirable and indeed affordable. The key news is here. The 1.6 cars for 1992 all take the fuel injection engine, and here's the really big news. The 1.6 gears now have power steering as standard. Big news indeed, coupled with a host of new features too. alloy wheels, body-coloured bumpers, body-coloured door mirrors, cabriolet-style front seats, rear seat head restraints on Escort, and new space fabric trim, in addition to all the well-known gear features, the quick-clear windscreen, the central locking, and the prestigious 2007 RDS stereo radio cassette. It really is quite a package, and when you couple all those new features to aggressive pricing, you'll see just how well Escort and Orion gears are going to fit those fleet policy lists. Nice touch here. This car's an Orion, so as you'd expect, it has a white front direction indicator. But in fact, that elegant white front DI is now common to all Escorts and Orions right across the range, right from the lead-in model. And talking about the lead-in model, just like Fiesta, the name popular with its associations of cheapness has now gone. The lead-in Escort is just called the Escort, making that fit fleet policy requirements even more admirably. Escort L gains on the inside not only a new trim, it's called Spa, but also small features like colour-toned fuel filler cap. The spectacular success of the special edition Escort and Orion Encores has led to some very tangible customer benefits indeed on the revised LX range Escorts and Orions. For a start, the thing that most people liked about the Orion Encore was the availability of a tax brake 1.4 or a performance 1.6 engine for the same money. And now, on both Escort and Orion LXs, that's just the way it is, a 1.4 or a 1.6 for the same money. The thing that everybody liked about the Escort Encore was the tailgate spoiler. So now here it is, standard equipment on all new Escort LXs. Part of an overall design package, which includes things like this elegant two-tone paint scheme, together with body-coloured door mirrors. Inside, seat height adjust is now standard. There's new Miami velour trim. And if he does go for a 1.6, you can bet your life the customer really will opt for something he said he wanted. That's right, power-assisted steering is now optional on 1.6 Escort and Orion LXs. A further example of Ford's attention to customers' needs.
Driven by you.
Well, the Ford Sierra and Sierra Sapphires have been doing their bit too to respond to the needs of the customer. For 1992, they will all have the new one-piece instrument panel surround, which is not only neater, but easier in operation too. Ergonomic advances have led to there being face-level vents at the side, as well as in the centre, and the micro-switches have been repositioned up in the corner. They all have the new door side panel trim, and there are more comfortable armrests too with pull handles. On the technical front, there have been some detail improvements to the suspension. The ride and the handling are even better, and there's been particular attention paid to sound insulation, so the interior of the Sierra is even quieter than it was before. So here's the lineup for Sierra and Sierra Sapphires for 1992. No XR4Is, you'll notice, no 2000Es, no lasers or classics, because like the Popular and the Popular Plus, those names have now gone, and so the lead-in models are now just simply Sierra and Sierra Sapphire. The lead-in engine has changed too. The 1.6 has gone, the old engine, to be replaced by the catalysed 1.6 fuel-injected CVH unit for improved drivability. Improved good looks too, because as you can see, even the lead-in model has body-coloured bumpers. And this is how they look on the LX series. Very smart indeed. But the most distinctive new feature, which everyone wanted, is the tailgate spoiler, now standard on hatchback LXs. Nice touch inside. The anti-theft alarm now has a system-armed light, and power steering is now standard on 2-litre LXs. In fact, just a word on 2-litre engines. All 2-litre Sierra engines are now fuel-injected, again for better drivability. This is the sporty GLS for 1992, looking even more dynamic thanks to this body-coloured rear spoiler and the very attractive alloy wheels. It has better and safer handling on the road too, because ABS brakes are now standard on the GLS too. But don't forget that anti-lock brakes are a very important option for all 1.8 or 2-litre Sierras. Sierra Estates continue to deliver the goods. This is the gear estate on which the roof rack comes as standard, and for 1992 model year the roof rack will also come as standard on the GLX estates. This one inside smells beautifully rich. It's the leather you see. They've opted for the leather trim on this particular car, and it's available as options on all three body styles. There's a new clock with a day and date display, a new powered sunroof, and the whole classic look is enhanced with the polished alloy wheels, again new. Four-wheel drive gears and XR 4x4s all sport these new 15-inch alloys, while the top-of-the-range Cosworth takes these. But the key change in the Cosworth is not down there, but under here. As you can see, the top of the engine is green, and that gives you the clue that Cosworth has gone green. This is the catalysed engine, and there's no discernible drop in performance, and it's not just me that's saying that, but the Ford testers. Inside, the power sunroof comes as standard, and there's an optional extra, which was much requested, and that's air conditioning. All in all, it's a supercar. Who can resist? Not me.
Driven by you.
And here's what a lot of small businesses have been waiting for. This is Ford's Courier van, as featured in its European launch film. Designed for those businesses like florists or fast food delivery, for instance, where high volume rather than high weight is the priority, Courier, which utilises the Fiesta front end and its own unique high-cube rear, provides the answer. The rear suspension, too, is unique to the vehicle. A semi-independent twist beam system, it gives Courier class-leading car-like ride and handling. Courier has a net payload of 515 kilograms. That's after deducting the weight of the driver. Now that's over 1,135 pounds. But payload is not the real reason for this vehicle. Capacity is. Ford were asked for just such a vehicle, and presto, here it is.
Driven by you.
Meantime, major improvements to all Ford Transits. Not only do the aerodynamic changes make Transits look better, but the considerable engineering changes make Transit a very much better and more comfortable workhorse too. Key changes in the wheelbase, extended on all models, but with the rear track widened on short wheelbase Transits, it makes the load space itself vastly more versatile. 1992 Transit also features load tie-down eyes, together with impressive improvements to braking, with anti-lock brakes optional now on all derivatives. The interiors are more comfortable with new seats, and much quieter thanks to improved sound insulation. There's improvement too to the 80 PS diesel, now with a more efficient pump for better performance and increased economy. While the 100 PS turbo diesel not only offers major performance increases with no loss of economy, but also pioneers drive-by-wire technology for the first time in a European commercial vehicle. So, more power, more economy, more comfort, more capacity. More transit for the customer, in fact.
Driven by you.
And so to the ultimate in luxury, Fords, Granadas and Scorpios. As you know, the whole range was realigned earlier this year, with typically all the features cascading down, so that today's Granada gear has all the features of the old Gear X, giving the customer, if it's possible, even more features for his money. A new entrant, the exciting 24-valve Scorpio, a real executive express, this one, very much for the chairman of the board. And indeed, the chairman of the board, or anyone else interested in doing business these days, simply just has to have a car phone. But not just any old car phone. This is a Ford Cellular Systems car phone. The big advantage is that you're assured that the electronics in the phone will match and be quite compatible with the electronics in the car. No nasty interference. And of course, this, like all Ford Cellular equipment, comes with a unique Ford lifetime guarantee. What this basically means is that if you get it properly serviced by an approved Ford Cellular agent, if ever it goes wrong, they replace it. They've got lots of nice new gear coming along too, like this, handheld portable. Isn't that neat? Very easy to use, and there's a car kit for this thing along any day now. But if you are the kind of person who really can't live without the idea of being able to sign important contracts when you're away from the office, then feast your eyes on this little box of tricks. Isn't that lovely? The new Ford Cellular Systems portable fax. Battery operated, or you can plug it into the cigar lighter. Just the thing for that top flight executive.
So, to sum up, has everything really been driven by you? Well, we've seen a range of actions, from new seats and new interiors in the Fiesta, new features and added value on Escort and Orion, more for your money on each and every Sierra, the entirely new high-cube Courier, enormous investment in transit, making it even more versatile, and finally, a real executive express. Is Ford driven by you? On this evidence, yes.
And if all that isn't enough, take a look at this, the new 150 brake horsepower RS 2000.